I'm Rick Hawkins.
And I'm Karen Hawkins.
We live in Austin, Texas, but we come here to the farm in Baltimore, Ohio on a regular basis. We moved to this farming community when I was a young child. My folks leased the property in the late 50s, but as they got older and became ill, so I purchased the property in the late 70s, and we proceeded to fix it up for my folks to live in it the rest of their lives.
So with our family growing and 5 children and 4 grandchildren, we discovered that the main farmhouse just didn't have enough space for us. So we wanted to create a guest house that could accommodate more people. The way that Rick kind of came up with this really wonderful idea to incorporate a very traditional sort of farm building, a corn crib, onto the property, and this is what we created last year.
My favorite room of the space is the living room.
Really, we were working with a neutral palette. It's mostly black and browns, a little bit of gray, and then the whites of the walls, and a small scale. But we wanted it to feel really warm and very cozy.
One of my favorite design elements of this house is the way that it feels, and a large part of that comes from the art that we have here, and that comes from my wife, Karen.
One being the totem, which is made out of vintage yearbooks from probably the 50s and 60s. And then the other one is the iconic peace sign, which in this case is made out of little toy soldiers. My favorite space is actually where we're sitting right now. I love sitting at the island, having a cheese tray and a glass of wine, playing cards with friends or the kids. It's a good space to just entertain people.
I especially like the massive amount of windows that are in this space, where you could be inside the facility and actually look out at the corn in the field. The really nice thing is to be able to move these slatted doors on the outside over the glass, and at night with the lights on inside the corn crib, it really just glows.
So there is a loft just above the kitchen. We just thought if we're gonna have the 4 grandkids in here, we need to have at least 2 adults in here at all times. So there's a full-size bed up there. It's cozy. There's some compartments for storage. It's pretty easy to get in and out of.
But with an ability for that adult to look over the edge and see how the children are doing.
Exactly.
It was important for us to think about how we can relate to the community where I grew up, a place that I still have a warm place in my heart. So we went out of our way to use as many local artisans and craftspeople as we possibly could. Many of these folks were not only people that I grew up with, but also people who have lived in the community most of their lives. So connecting back to the community as a result by using the locals has really been a wonderful part of doing this project.